Okay. Are we on? Reb Chaim Oizer once met the Ostrasser Rebbe. I don't know if I pronounce the name of the Sefer wrong. Reb Shlomo corrects me. So did I say it right?
Subtitle.
The Ostrasser Rebbe, who was known for his goiness. And he said, tell me something, tell me a chiddush, tell me a nice word. This is what he told him. Such a beautiful word. I'm so excited about this word. I can't contain myself. I might have said this over once before. He asked him as follows. The Gemara tells us in Mesachos Makos, Gemara says, how foolish are people? Kama tifshi inchi. That when the Sefer Torah comes out of the Oren, people stand up. But when a Gavra Rabbah, when a great man, a Talmud Chachum, walks into a room, people don't get up. Over here, we're not foolish. I make a big deal, right? Whenever Mishkala walks in, I get up fully.
What are you talking about? Who doesn't stand up for a good old door?
There are people who do not stand up for a Talmud Chacham, but they stand up for a Sefer Torah. All right, so what does the Gemara call such a person? What does the Gemara call a person that does not stand up for a Talmud Chacham? Stands up for a Sefer Torah, but does not stand up for a Talmud Chacham, for a Gavra Rabbah. Oh, thank you. How tifshi inchi, the Gemara says. How foolish are people that they stand up for a Sefer Torah and Marcus, but they don't but they don't stand up for a Talmud Chacham. Says the Gemara, I'm going to prove this idea that a Talmud Chacham is more chashuv than a Sefer Torah. Anybody remember what's the proof? Proof is based on something. Well, that's the question. It has to do with this week's parsha. The Gemara says in Mesachos Makos, when the Torah says that a person gets makos, aboyim yakenu, he gets 40 makos. That's a pasuk in the Torah in Pashas Ki Tzeitze, in Devarim, which in English is Deuteronomy, right? What does Deuteronomy mean? Nobody knows what it means. It means Devarim. Okay. Pashas Ki Tzeitze, aboyim yakenu, he gets 40 makos. Now we know how many malchus do you really get? 39. So says the Gemara, a Talmud Chacham is more important, more chashuv than the Sefer Torah. Sefer Torah says 40 malchus, and Talmud Chacham comes and says, no. Doesn't mean 40, means 39. That's what the Gemara says. Okay? So you're a fool if you stand up for a Sefer Torah, but you don't stand up for a Talmud Chacham. The rabbis, they know more than, they can argue with the Torah. The Torah says 40 means 39. Kasha is, what are you talking about? That the Gemara brings a raya, brings a proof from a pasuk in Sefer Devarim, in Deuteronomy. We have a proof from this week's parsha. Parshas Emor. What do you have in Parshas Emor? The Torah tells us that the mitzvah of Sviras HaOmer, Shlomo, is how many days? Tisberu, what? Chamishim Yom. The Torah says, I'm not making this up. Shlomo Garfunkel is not saying this, or Stephen Garfunkel is not saying this, whatever you want to call him. Simon and Garfunkel. Nobody, no singers are saying this. Mrs. Robinson is not involved in this at all. Okay?
How do you make them more chashuv though? That's my question.
So I'm going to explain this.
So what they said is
meaning that they can argue with the Torah. The Torah says, that's what we're saying. The Torah says 40 malchus, and the Chacham say no. It doesn't mean 40, it means 39. That's what the Gemara says.
You mean the fact that we listen to the Chachamim over the Torah.
Correct. So they're more important. They can argue with the Torah. That's what the Gemara says. Now, getting back. So the question is, a beautiful question. Why don't you bring a proof from earlier in this week's Parsha, in Parshas Emor? The Torah says, Sviras HaOmer is for 50 days. Tisberu Chamishim Yom. Okay? That's not me, it's the Torah. And how many days do we really count Sviras HaOmer, Shmuel? 49. You hear the kasha? It's a Gavaldik kasha. Why does the Gemara prove that a Talmud Chacham is greater than the Sefer Torah? Because the Talmud Chacham can argue with the Sefer Torah, and who do we listen to? When there's machlokes between the Sefer Torah and the Talmud Chacham, who do we listen to? Talmud Chacham. So why does the Gemara prove this idea from Marcus in Pashas Ki Tzeitze earlier in this week's Parsha in Leviticus, in the book of Leviticus, in Pashas Emor? How do you say Emor in English? Say in Pashas say it says 50, and we know it's 49. So the Ostros, the Rebbe, told Chaim Meiser, a beautiful teretz. I know, I love it. I don't know about everybody else, but I love it. I'm going to share it with you. What's the difference? Sylvia, please join us. Thank you. Very good. That's the Talmud's answer, how you know that. Fine. I'm not going into the logic about how you know that. In the end of the day, for those that came, I'll just say it b'kitzur. I don't want to bore the people that were here on time, so I'll say it quickly. In this week's parsha, we have, the Torah tells us that you count Sefer Omer 50 days. Tisbu chamishim yom. We know it's not 50, it's really 49. The Gemara in Marcus wants to prove that a Talmud Chacham is in a way more important than a Sefer Torah. People stand up for a Sefer Torah. Some people in Babylonia don't stand up for a Talmud Chacham, but they stand up for a Sefer Torah. The Gemara calls them fools. How foolish are the people? Now the Gemara proves how a Talmud Chacham is more important than a Sefer Torah, because when the Torah says you give Marcus, you give 40 lashes, but we only give 39. Says the Gemara. So you see that a Talmud Chacham is more important than a Sefer Torah. Because when you have an argument between the Sefer Torah and the rabbi wins. So the question is, why doesn't the Gemara bring a proof from our verse? When it says 50, it means 49, which is earlier in the Torah. Shlomo, that's a Parshas Emor, in Leviticus, in Vayikra. Then it speaks Parsha. Why does the Gemara have to bring a proof from much later on, bring a proof from over here? That was the question. Did I do a good job of explaining the question in 2 minutes? It took us 10 minutes, but I got it in 2 minutes. Come late more often, I'll be able to learn how to say things quicker. Okay. So, for those who are not texting, I will give the answer to the question. I know. Anybody want to try to answer before I say this? It's such a beautiful answer. Why does the Gemara prove from Marcus when we have a proof from Sefer Omer?
Because Malchus is more severe. It's more of a reason to listen. No, it's more of a proof that because you're inflicting pain on someone.
Oh my gosh. This is not the first time that Shmuel Seidel knew the answer to the question. This is not the first time, Tovia. For you, it might be the first time because it's the first time you're here. Thank you for
putting more value on pain.
Oh, beautiful.
Just count.
Beautiful. Zok to Osros a Rebbe, a beautiful Aderets. To say 50 is 49, Shkayach. What are you doing? You're stopping a yid from doing Sefer Omer one more day. That doesn't make you to a Gavra Rabbah. A Gavra Rabbah, a great man, is somebody who prevents a yid from getting another makkah. That's a great man. What a beautiful insight. The Gemara couldn't bring a raya from Sefer Omer because, with all due respect to the rabbis, what did they do? They had 50, they made it 49. So they took away one day of Sefer Omer, one last piece of cheesecake, whatever they did. That doesn't make you a great man. What makes you a great man? If you prevent the yid from getting another makkah. That's what makes you a great man. And that's why the Gemara could only bring a proof from Marcus and not from Sefer Omer, because Sefer Omer doesn't make you into a great man if you take away one day of Sefer Omer. What makes you into a great man? If you prevent the yid from getting another makkah. That's what makes you into a great man.